Good morning, guys. We're going to do a quick garden update today. Plus, I've also got some never before seen footage. Well, we did a little fishing trip. Funny story about that. So on this fishing trip, we were using, super basic worms, bobbers, that setup. And my girlfriend caught a tiny fish, right? This tiny little fish. And it was a orange spotted perch. Hey babe, let's put that perch on that hook and we'll just send it out there and see what happens. So she laughs at me. She thinks I'm joking. I'm only halfway joking because I have a feeling. We put this guy on the hook. She throws it out there. About 5 minutes later, a massive bowfin, probably like a 6-pound bowfin, just snatches this thing out of the water and the fight is on. Unfortunately, I did not get anything on camera, but it was a great time. Anyway, on to the garden tour. So we'll check out the salad bar first. It looks like we might have our roly-poly situation under control over here. They're not eating everything, so that's cool. Onions are doing great. Unfortunately, I'm having some beginning to bolt. I've been pulling them up and having these specifically for dinner. I'm not sure why some have decided to bolt. They were just seed onions whenever I planted them, so they should not be bolting. I've never grown onions before. It's kind of a trial and error to see exactly what happens. The Mizuki lettuce is doing well. So many seed pods. And then kale also, lots of seeds. I'm gonna have so many seeds. Carrots are kind of kicking it down here. Got a couple little okras that you saw us plant the other day growing in there. And green beans. We got green beans going, and they are producing as well. We got green beans coming up in there, and there. Also the turnips we harvested. I'm probably gonna put some squash and some okra in here. Put some spaghetti squash in there. And over here, I did a lot of work on the cucumbers yesterday. As you can see, I trimmed up all these lower branches and just cleaned everything up really good. And there's a random volunteer tomato here, which is just killing it. We had a big storm last night, so a lot of stuff is kind of laid over. Put the lettuce there. But yeah, so the cucumber is being trellised now for sure. I tied that one up in a couple different locations because it was getting very heavy. Oh, look, it's already grabbing on. As for the peas, we've been dealing with green aphids. I've never had to battle green aphids like this before. My very first serious garden ever. We're all in this together. Green aphids have been a problem. Right now, I don't see any, but these are sugar sweet peas. So far, they're okay. A little bit more challenging than what I thought they would be due to the pest pressure. I may not grow them again, or if I do, I will grow them a lot earlier or later in the year whenever it's cool. So anyway, leaving the salad bar, coming over to the berry patch. We got blueberries, a raspberry, and then blackberries over there. Still not ripe, unfortunately. They're getting bigger. I mean, to be the first year that we've had them out here, it's not too bad. Now this plant was doing some weird things. This one, the other day, this guy laid over, all the leaves drooped down, and then I thought it had died, but that night it came back. It's got some kind of issue going on. I'm not sure what is happening. That is definitely some blueberries. They don't look exactly right though. Nonetheless, we'll see how that goes. And over here, this is a healthy little plant. And yeah, raspberry. Raspberry is very slow to grow, but she is getting bigger, slowly but surely. We have our very first blackberry ever, and I'm super excited about that. It's not very healthy blackberry because it's like only one blackberry this plant put off, so it's looks a little special, but that's fine. It's their very first year. So I wasn't expecting any blackberries at all. So like one blackberry is better than no blackberries. We gotta do some weeding for these guys. We got some milkweed in there, random weeds. Gonna clean that stuff up for sure. And this blackberry is doing a lot better. It put off a new shoot because that was the first one and it did not do well. It still got leaves on it, but they had a lot of pest pressure and it stopped growing. But then this one shot up out of nowhere, so I'm excited about that. Also needs to be weeded. And on to the production garden. First, I'll show you the pumpkin. Check out this pumpkin. So I did a lot of training on this pumpkin yesterday, but we have a pumpkin and a pumpkin. So that's pretty cool. It's gonna grow over these hay bales and into this area here in theory. We've got the okra you saw us plant the other day. Okra's doing very well. Leeks are doing okay. We got our tomatillos. They are doing things. First time growing tomatillos. Now the volunteer tomatillo has a bloom. Check out the bloom. That is going to be our very first tomatillo as long as it gets pollinated, and it's got more coming out there. Now on to the production garden. One thing we have gotten is our very first squash. We picked some the other night, fried it up, and it was fantastic. I did some pruning on the squash yesterday as well. I will show you that. Oh, we got a bumblebee. Bumblebee. There he is. What? Where you go? Where you go? Here he is. Honeybee. Oh, honeybee. But yeah, cute. So down here, we still are dealing with roly-polies, as you can see. They are a problem. Right now, they're just feeding off the dead foliage, so that's okay. That's a rotten squash. We'll probably need to pull that off, but look how healthy that is. We're doing, oh, look, 2 bees. There's 2 bees. We got some squash there. As you, the roly-polies are busy, aren't they? Oh, bee. Love this. Okra that I planted there. I need to probably get this leaf out of the way, and maybe that one, so the okra can come up. And the zucchini is a little bit behind the squash, but not by much. Him getting some pollen. And moving over here, more squash, more squash. I also staked everything up yesterday to kind of keep these plants from falling off the hay bales. And it actually worked well because that was a big storm we had last night. Moving on to the peppers. We've got 3 or 4 different kinds of peppers, depending on whether or not the bell peppers are actually bell peppers. And then we have 4 different kinds of tomatoes. Check this out. First, these are jalapenos. Jalapeno are doing well. Now we did have a little bit of pest pressure early on, but it looks like that has abated quite a bit. As they get larger and healthier, you know, the smaller insects aren't that interested in them, so they're growing quite well. We have shishito peppers here, and shishito are apparently kind of hard to grow compared to the other species of peppers. They're kind of rare. My plan with this is to hopefully that one will grow up and that one will grow up, and I will interspace them out into the other areas of the shishito bed. Just gotta let them get big. And over here we have some poblanos. Poblano's killing it. And he doesn't look very healthy, but we'll see. See the roly-poly? Man, these roly-polies it's been a battle with these guys all spring. And over here we got some ancho chilies and some volunteer tomatoes coming in. We're just gonna see what they do. Ancho chili, honestly, the ancho chilies have probably done better than I'm gonna go ahead and snip off that little guy right there. Better than pretty much the rest of the peppers. Get that weed out of there. Moving on to tomatoes. Tomatoes kind of laid over last night, didn't they? Yeah, this is the Cherokee Purple tomato. We got 3 of these, and then of course I did my open sowing method, and I'll let these guys kind of grow and then select the best one. Over here we have our black cherry. Black cherry is killing it. I'm super excited about these. They're very sweet, they're very savory. These are gonna be very good tomatoes. And that's a news bee right there. And over here we have the mortgage lifter tomato. I'm excited to try that guy out. They say it produces so many tomatoes. And over here we have an Amish paste tomato. Only 2 of those survived, but it was a battle to keep them alive. You know, sometimes these specific varieties of tomatoes and peppers, like, they're just challenging. Because I mean, they're more artesian style, I guess, so they're a bit more sensitive. But we have a volunteer tomatillo here, and then we have a bell pepper there, and a bell pepper there. Furthermore, potatoes are rocking over there. Look at all those potatoes. That's my swamp area there. We'll see what happens with that. And we'll just go to the front of the garden and we'll check out the asparagus and the rhubarb. And I'll show you guys the next bed that I'm working on for next year. Gonna be the expansion of the garden into the swampy area, so we're just gonna pile it up and see what happens. You know, the rhubarb turns out to be quite hardy. That one got 8 the other day and just randomly fixed itself. We have a big potato coming in right here, which I'm excited about. And the asparagus bed, it's doing things. Look at that asparagus and asparagus. And so much asparagus, it's everywhere. We eat a lot of asparagus here, so the more asparagus we have, the better. It's gonna be some years before this bed is you know, gonna be producing enough for us to eat. That over there is going to be the expansion of the asparagus bed. Anything I don't have room for in this bed, because they're very close, a lot of them are, I'm gonna let it grow out for a year, and then I'm gonna pull them up and put them in that extra bed over there. So in theory, we'll have a whole bed of asparagus in front of the house. We'll see how that goes. Oh, check this out. We've got some new basil. We got green basil, and the purple basil back there is not doing anywhere near as awesome as the green basil, but it is there nonetheless. I don't think I'll be doing anything with this trellis this year. Got some fishing poles there. We'll check out the Catawba grapes that you saw us make a trellis for and plant earlier this year. And look at that. We got grapes coming in, guys. Looking very healthy. Super excited about this part. Now I just need to get them trained onto this trellis here. That's gonna be the challenging part. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this over here. Actually, I think I'll probably get something and tie this up with. All right, so that's it for the garden tour outside of the herb bed. Herb bed's doing great. Now I'm gonna switch over to my girlfriend. You guys get to meet her and she'll tell you a little bit about what we did last night. Peace.
Okay, hi, I'm Darian. You haven't met me yet because being on this side of the camera makes me anxious. I'm Preston's girlfriend. We have a happy little homestead, and basically I'm just going to be prepping some bags while he's out there gutting the fish. He's already showed y'all this, like making the bags, doing a manual seal, all that, so I'm doing this and making some sweet tea. I am the most awkward person you will ever encounter, and that's why I don't like being on this side, but hi, I'm Darian. Preston doesn't like too much sugar. I don't like it if it's just a cup, so we negotiate pretty well with each other. I am currently pregnant, and I can't handle the way those fish smell right now, so I'm doing the stuff on the inside, and this is ready. So I made a bag. We have some pretty big brim. The bowfin is not back here, but I ended up catching the smallest little fish, with a worm. And then I tossed that out there, and bowfin snagged it immediately. So I'm gonna throw up. That's going right there. I love you.
Are we live? Cool, love you too. Ooh, thunder.
Oh my God.
Alright, so a trick my daddy taught me whenever you are scaling a fish, use a spoon and then go against the grain with a spoon. Spoon's the most important thing. Do not ever buy any of the tools they try to sell you in the store, because a spoon will literally do everything you need it to do.